And look, I think the speed and aggression of Townsville is really going to help. I mean, Burgess is big, but gosh, she's slow. So you got to take advantage of it. It's like Alex Fowler taking that drive before. She was wide open. I think she shocked herself that she missed that layup. So yes, take advantage of your speed and aggression.
So Stella Beck right up into Casey Samuels, forces the turnover. Those two will be going at it a lot over the next couple of months at fire training, and Beck getting the honours right there.
It might have been lucky there. I thought we might have tapped that across the centre line, but we'll take it, as I say.
And the Seahawks already changed up to a zone. They find Fowler inside. Kick out for Goodchild is no good. And we might see a bit of zone tonight. Coach Sleaford talked about trying to mix things up just to try and throw the Flames out of balance.
Geez, there's a wide open cut there. Passed it way too late. Flames have got to be better than that. That is a hooking foul. No, we're going to call that a foul on the defence.
Called on Beck with Jansen on the hoop there. So shot missed, but she will go to the foul line for 2 shots here, looking to get the Seahawks scoring going.
She makes the first, and that's their first bucket for the game, 7-1.
And doubles up, and now it's Flames ball, leading by 5. And into this zone again with the Seahawks. Flames get good movement to find Cox open in the corner. Goodchild then puts it in on penetration through the seam, and a little reach-in foul by Allen there.
Yeah, good ball movement there. A bit of penetration, good kicking of the ball. There's going to be opportunities with that.
So the Flames out of the sideline, out of bounds. Turnover there. Cox trying to find Fowler on a dive to the rim.
Yeah, again, that pass probably a little late, but the idea was right.
The Seahawks jumper from Kiriau at the elbow is successful. The Seahawks straight back into this zone, which by the looks of it, we're going to see a fair bit of. Cox open in the corner for 3. Misses, but great offensive board by Brennan and put back for 2. Seahawks trying to test the Flames in transition there, but Fowler does a good job just containing Allen, but Goodchild a little over-eager, fouling on that reversal pass.
Yeah, they're definitely doing a good job on defence. I'd love to see them go into Burgess, but they're just not getting it into her. And you know, to see Lisa Brennan is quicker than her says that she's pretty slow. So something we've got to take advantage of.
So Kiriau just goes over the top with the layup at one end. Flames slow it down a little bit. Fowler one-on-one low against Jansen. Uses the size advantage for 2.
Burgess didn't even move then. That was,
Samuels with the transition 3 to answer. Flames will need to be better guarded for that.
There is a real chance to punish Burgess, I feel, here. You can get her in foul trouble. You can blow by her. Just isolate wherever you can. The bigs working together on that big. The big stuff is going to kill her.
Goodchild misses the open 3. It'll be Seahawks ball here. Flames leading 11-7.
That's the other way to beat a zone is hit threes, but you've got to hit them, mate.
And the Seahawks looking into Burgess now, but she gets overlooked for Allen for a pull-up jumper contested. Lucky they get the O board because it wasn't a very high percentage shot. Now Burgess double teamed straight away. So Flames obviously got that as their focus. Allen runners unsuccessful, and great outlet pass to the Flames. Cox finds Beck wide open for 3. Misses, but offensive board again to the Flames.
Yeah, in that case, 3-on-1, I would have liked to see him go at the basket there. You know, settling for a 3 was probably not the right shot.
And Cox misses with her 3-point attempt. And the Flames just letting the Seahawks off the hook a little bit here. Samuels again in transition for 3. Nothing but net.
1-on-2, she nails it. She's going at him. Yeah, I think when Townsville get that fast break opportunity, they need to run it down their throat because this team is really slow.
Cox finds Fowler, unsuccessful. Just a little overshooting by the Flames at the moment. A lot of shots going long, whether it's a little bit of, a little bit of adrenaline kicked in right now with this home final, but they need to settle into their rhythm a little bit better.
It's the famous first quarter shooting jitters. We have a shooting percentage below 20% in that first quarter, and it seems to be back again tonight. This is a transition I'm talking about. Go Adam, boom, money time.
Good child for two. And that's a timeout called by the North Gold Coast Seahawks, with the Flames leading 13-10.
And I really think that timeout is just to give them a rest. They're looking smoked, you know, they're looking tired and fatigued, and Townsville's game has to be run it down their throat, I think, take advantage of their speed.
Well, you'd think that that's what it's got to be, because they're in the game right now. I think, you know, if you were Coach Sleaford, though, you'd definitely be talking about testing Townsville's D-trans. You know, Samuels has got that early kick ahead twice, knocked down 2 open threes. Yes. So they're perhaps going to be talking about that, and you would, you know, presume that Coach St. Maurice is talking about that exact same thing down that end and not allowing Samuels to get that open in transition.
Yeah. And I also think that they're going to try and get some feeds into the post play. They're going to get the big girl to screen up, the guard cut off to the corner, and then dive her back into the post. So we'll see how that goes. That's what I'm guessing they're talking about. We'll see how that goes.
By the looks of it, they're going to have to catch Burgess on the move, aren't they? Because when she's back to the basket getting that catch, the Flames are coming straight with that double, so
absolutely
making her throw it straight out.
Yeah. And as I say that, she takes a seat on the bench, so they're clearly going to run it for someone else.
So first sub coming in for the Seahawks was Zandy coming into the game for her first minutes, and I think also, by the looks of it, Harney's into the game early as well. And for the Flames, Walsh and Hayley Andrews makes her return from overseas trip, and Rebecca Vandejat into the game early as well.
Yeah. And I really like that press too. It slowed the ball down, except you cannot leave a shooter wide open.
So they got back into a zone there, and they just didn't quite find where the shooters were.
Score's all locked up at the moment. We're moving the ball around, not ready to catch here.
So Seahawks, conversely, have gone back into a man now. Flames have fumbled around a little bit with it through Andrews. Dribbles it off her foot, and that's a turnover. Now Seahawks ball.
Yeah, Andrews looks a little floppy at the moment. Looks like she's still in Portland. But hopefully she plays her way into the game.
So missed by Samuels, and it's Flames ball again now. The score's tied at 13. Andrews finds Fowler underneath the rim, easy too.
Yeah, really nice penetration pass move there. And we see Seahawks come back down the other end.
And Fowler now with the job on Samuels. Seahawks find Harney down low. She's unsuccessful. O'Board missed putback as well. Now Andrews pushing out in transition. Attacks and makes the layup.
There you go, her plane's landed. She's got her legs under her. Got rid of those first quarter jitters maybe. Or first hit the court jitters, I should say.
Can the Seahawks look to take a little bit of advantage now of this matchup? Fowler on Samuels.
Yeah, look, for me, what they have done, they've got about 4 offensive boards. So Townsville really have to be aware of them getting the boards. They haven't converted on them, but if they do start to convert on them, it's going to hurt us. Now, they did run an up screen action before too, and cut the guard into the post out of that. It didn't work, and as we see that, Burgess now comes back in. So we'll see what happens there.
And Beck back in for Fowler here now. So this will be an interesting matchup if they can go to Burgess with Vandejat against her. Burgess, you know, obviously a strength advantage you would think there. But we might see if there's a reply substitution come very quickly from the Flames here.
One thing Vandejat has is length, so hopefully she can annoy Burgess with that. She certainly won't be pushing her out of the block.
Now back into their man offense here, the Flames. Find Vandejat at the high post, who finds Cox with the open three. No good. Burgess with the rebound. The Seahawks doing a good job just of disrupting this Flames outfit a little bit right now.
I'd like to see a little more penetration against that zone. We're certainly not shooting it very well, so...
Samuels with the 3 contested with Cox in her face, no good. Now Cox gets that penetration, finds Andrews on the perimeter for 3, no good, but another O-board for the Flames. Beck finds Andrews, converts with 2.
Andrews with her 4 points to start with, and here's that mismatch we're talking about. Double team straight away.
Triple team almost in the end.
And she throws it out of bounds. So for her size, she's really a little awkward, a little slow, and probably not the danger that we thought she could be. And we see a couple more subs coming in for the Gold Coast Seahawks.
She's got that double team coming from the opposite high guard. You know, surely she's got to make that catch, keep the ball high, throw it over that thing, and find the shooter on the weak side.
Look, I'd really love to see a bit of penetration against this thing, and especially when you've got Burgess on the outside there. Draw her, and we see an offensive foul on Cox. I absolutely disagree with that one. I don't think it was worth it, but the referee saw different. So we see Goodchild come in, give Michaela a spell. And Lisa Brennan will be coming in. I'd suggest to deal with Burgess.
So Goodchild and Brennan come in for Andrews and Vanderjack going back to the bench there.
And they didn't lose anything while they were on either. It's 19-14, so Seahawks had only scored 1 point while they were on.
So Kiriel finds Zandy, open shot, but no good. Flames come up with the rebound. Goodchild looking to explore in the open court, finds Walsh on a nice cut underneath the rim for 2.
Well done, good find there. And good to see Townsville back in this pressure too. It's going to make them make mistakes.
Samuels for 3 from the top, another 3.
Yeah, she's feeling it. And Lisa Brennan looks hurt or tired, one or the other. Hurt, I would suggest, with that limp.
Got herself moving there.
That's not going to be good if she is hurt. There's the penetration I'm talking about, followed by more penetration and a wide open shot. Fantastic basketball.
Nice movement by the Flames. Over the split line twice. Good penetration, and then penetration off the back of that as well.
Yeah, that's going to kill that zone if they keep doing that.
Reese unsuccessful on her first attempt. They find Samuels on the O board though. Unsuccessful, and it is Flames ball. With 0.8 of a second to go in the first quarter, the Flames lead 23-17.
Yeah, Reese shooting that shot without looking. You've got to have a look at the rim. You can't just throw it up there.
And there's the clock. So at quarter time, the Townsville Flames lead the North Gold Coast Seahawks 23-17.
Look, you take away the 3-pointers by Samuels, and it's not even anywhere near a game. So I would hope that Coach St. Moritz is having a discussion about that. She's clearly shown she can hit it. She's not scared to go 1-on-2, pull up, hit the 3. And if they address that, that should take care of the rest of the game, because they wouldn't be in it without that.
Now, we will keep you up to date with the other games going on around the league tonight. And in the quarterfinals, 2nd team versus 7th team, the Ipswich Force leading the Mackay Meteorettes at home 17-8 with 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. And the other game that's already underway, the Southern District Spartans leading the Sunshine Coast Phoenix 18-17 at quarter time.
And as I stand up here, I watch Lisa Brennan getting an ankle retaped, so I'd suggest that she rolled that slightly. Hopefully the tape fixes that up, because if you take her out of the game, that's going to certainly hurt, losing 2 bigs in Darcy and Lisa.
So at quarter time, the leading scorers for the Flames, it's spread all over the place. You've got Beck with 5, Fowler with 4, Goodchild with 4, Walsh with 4, Andrews with 4. Whereas for the Seahawks, it's pretty much one-way traffic for Casey Samuels with 10 points on 3 of 5 from the 3-point line, keeping the Seahawks within touching distance right now. And the crowd's slowly building, Shane, for what we'd anticipate to be pretty much a sellout for the second game this evening, with the Townsville Heat finishing in second place, hosting the red-hot Gold Coast Rollers rolling in here. So they've won their last 4 or 5, so looking forward to that matchup after this one.
Yeah, it will be a very, very good game. The Heat took care of them down there, and they certainly have a size advantage, but it'll be interesting because they've added a few. So we'll discuss that when it's game time.
So Flames to kick off the second quarter here, leading by 6.
You see North Gold Coast go back into a man. Lisa Brennan takes a 3 and rattles it home. She says, okay, you guards, I'm going to show you how to do this.
Look, just made Burgess pay for having to help off on that flare screen, and then picks up the foul at the other end. Offensive foul called on Burgess. Brennan just getting her body in front. Coach Sleaford calling for the flop there, but I think we might have discussed this earlier in the season. I don't think Lisa Brennan had flopped deliberately, having to get up off the ground again.
She, let's call it, she definitely took the contact, and the contact wasn't intentional. It was just being big and clumsy. And Lisa Brennan just made the fall convincing. She didn't throw her head back, which is the secret of flopping. Referees are looking for that head being thrown back.
Goodchild finds Walsh open off penetration, and Walsh knocks down the 3.
And as we talked about, get rid of that first quarter and our shooting percentages go up.
So Samuels attacking back. No good.
Brennan and Burgess going at it in the paint again. There's a look at this. It's getting physical in there. Burgess is going to wear a foul rather soon, I would suggest.
Brennan gets the D board. Then Cox with the kick ahead and transition back. That's probably not really good enough right there. Just not ready to catch. And an unfortunate turnover for the Flames.
And we're going to keep an eye on Burgess and Brennan because this thing's going to heat up.
And O'Brien come in. She didn't play any minutes in the first quarter, but comes in, gets straight onto the foul line here with picking up a foul.
Yeah, smart move. She made the contact with Michaela Cox, and the referee had to call it. And that'll be Michaela's second, and Coach Mike will take her off just to be safe. First bucket is good, and we've got a score of 29-18.
And O'Brien makes the second.
And Gold Coast are in a bit of a 1-1-2-1 press. Shouldn't bother the Flames at all with all the guards that they have out there. Back into a zone, so some good ball movement. Penetration, there's the hold, so attack that thing straight away.
And Samuels just not quite in position there. Good attack by Walsh at her low hip. Picks up the blocking foul, and maybe that's who the Flames need to start attacking right now, and Samuels try and get another couple of fouls out of her, take her out of this game, and the Seahawks might struggle to keep up.
That's a good call. It'd be great to get her in foul trouble. Andrews aggressive on the penetration, gets blocked, but that's exactly what I'm calling for, so good move.
Yeah, Allen looks for her options on transition. They feed it to Burgess. Burgess one-on-one against Brennan this time.
Brennan blocks that. That was more aggressive by Burgess, being strong in the paint. I don't know if she has a skill set to really keep doing it, but we'll see. Maybe she's just been sleeping in the first quarter. There's a 10-point lead to the Flames, and it would actually be interesting to see if a zone was effective for the Flames a little bit.
You see Brennan and Burgess still going at it inside. Leaves Samuels open on the three-point line. Rattles out. Now Goodchild off the defensive board. Bust out hard dribble. Finishes in transition. Misses the shot.
To be honest,
Samuel's probably a little lucky to not pick up a little bumping foul on that attack.
and watching, watching Burgess and Brennan inside, as Burgess just shoves Brennan in the back, but you know what? The refs actually let them go at it, but she's also not leaving the paint and the refs aren't calling it, so could play into Burgess's hands here. Brennan's going to be one sore puppy after tonight.
Burgess gets the ball down deep. Misses, gets the O board, put back is successful, and she'll go to the foul line.
Yeah, and if you're going to get into those battles, you've got to block her out. You can't get, that's the one thing that's hurt us a little bit tonight other than the three-pointers is offensive boards. And they're ones that could be stopped quite easily with just putting your body there.
So I think that was probably about their 7th offensive board for the game right now, so you're right. And there's number 8 right now, keeping the Seahawks in the game, but they turn the ball over trying to kick it out.
I love hearing when I'm right. I always tell myself when I'm right, but it's good to hear it from someone else.
You normally always tell everyone else when you're right as well, Shane. Don't worry about that.
I'm right. I convince them I'm right.
And the Seahawks back into the zone now.
Wide open on the weak side if they can find it. One more shot.
Good child, open for 3, not successful. Samuels pulls down the rebound.
Yeah,
and the Seahawks off and running. Create contact with Fowler, not in position.
Yeah, lazy D by Fowler. But going back to the other end, if they move that ball that little bit quicker, you've got Beck wide open in the corner. So they're going to have to wake up to that.
And that's Fowler's 2nd foul as well. And the team's 4th foul already in this quarter for the Flames. And now Jansen on the dribble through the middle, picks up another foul, and the basket's good. Fouls on Goodchild. And the Seahawks, with this free throw, could trim the lead to 5.
We're going a little stagnant here, and it's, the scoring is good, but I'd get Michaela Cox back in. I know she's got 2 fouls, but I would be getting her in as quick as possible because she's the engine room, she's the brains, and that is the exact right idea. It's just a horrible pass. Andrew saw her, she tried to kick it ahead, and there she is, Michaela Cox, exactly what we need.
So Cox coming back in, and Goodchild to the bench now for the Flames.
And again,
Seahawks find Burgess at the high post, who throws it to Samuels when she wasn't looking, leads to a turnover.
Yeah, and again, I know Michaela has 2 fouls, but unless she has 3 to 4 fouls, she should be on for this whole game. No rests, just keep going. She is the engine room tonight.
So Flames find Brennan in the high post against the zone. Nice little runner for 2.
Good pass by Andrews, so straight in the middle of that thing will kill it.
Brennan and Burgess bumping again in transition. Open shot by Jansen, knocks it down for 3 as her defender tried to go underneath the on-ball, made her pay.
Yeah, I don't know what's happened with Burgess, but Brennan has certainly got under her skin. Great drive, Stella Beck.
Good penetration from Beck. Foul called, I would say that's on Burgess, not allowing Beck a space to land.
She seems to have all the time in the world. It's like the game slows down for her a little bit. So great penetration and great bucket with a foul.
And that's Burgess's 2nd foul, and we've got a timeout now for the North Gold Coast Seahawks again. The Townsville Flames leading 33-26.
Yeah, and again, it's seeing Michaela Cox come back in is a part of that spurt. Whether it's her scoring or not, just the leadership she gives and the attention she draws, it opens everything up for other people. So
she just settles the team.
Absolutely.
She's the veteran point guard for that team, so she's got that much experience, and having somebody out there with her level of experience straight away makes all those younger players around her settle, and they've got into a lot better rhythm again straight away.
And the other thing we probably need to mention tonight is that the Australian Emus are playing against the New Zealand bad guys. We don't like those Kiwis, do we? At 6:45 over in Bangkok for the grand final of the Asian qualifiers. So both New Zealand and Australia have qualified for the World Championships next year, and they're playing off for gold tonight. Now, the Aussies kicked the Kiwis by 50 or 40 odd in the last game, but I'm sure the grand final will be different. 6:45 tonight on FIBA. Tape it if you're watching us.
It might be another little case of one of your offspring dominating that game, Shane. Sam has been having a great tournament over there, so hopefully he finishes off well for the Emus tonight.
Probably helps when you're 7 foot tall.
Beck makes a free throw, and the Flames extend their lead, 34-26.
You see Burgess is having a little rest at the moment, so we should see less physical conflict. There's the up-screen action.
Oh, no, Burgess is there.
Burgess
Just
is
made the
on. I
catch.
just didn't see her hiding in the hole. I apologise.
So Burgess makes the turnaround jumper over Brennan.
I've clearly got something wrong with my vision.
Maybe check though, you got the right glasses on there right now, Shane.
Exactly.
So Flames find Fowler with heavy attention at the high post, leads to a turnover.
Look, Alex is in the right spot, so I just think she needs to be more of a presence.
Allen open for three in transition, no good. Flames come up with the board. And now, go, it's 4-on-1 for the Flames. Beck finds Fowler, blocked by Allen.
Yeah, Alex is just being not physical enough, not strong enough. Now that's that classic shoulder into the player, go up with a hook shot, you don't get that block. Same when she's cutting, she needs to get her legs across, put her ass out like she's blocking out, demand that ball in the post, jump to catch it. She's just not doing that at the moment.
The Flames moving the ball around the zone, shot clock starting to run low, it's at 5. Beck open for three on the corner, on the wing, no good, but Cox with the O board.
And Beck's wide open again. Burgess, with Burgess on her, I'd be going to Beck. Good move, Brennan, though.
Brennan no good off the free throw, but turnover by the Seahawks, trying to push out in transition.
That looked like she tried to pass to the referee. But, yeah, clearly didn't work. Lisa, very smart there, saw Burgess, and she brought it back to her right hand, leaning in to draw that foul.
Well, got her into the air, which then obviously brings her out of defensive stance. Then she's free to do what she wants, went into that body, and the ref had no choice but to call the foul.
Gosh, I would attack her every chance I have. She would be out of that game as quick as could be.
So Goodchild back into the game with Beck taking a rest. Brennan at the free throw line. Makes the first. And it gives me a hard time every week, so I'm going to give a quick shout out to Lisa's husband sitting down on the baseline looking after two kids right now, watching mum go to work. So Luke, you're doing a good job supporting your wife through this season.
I'm sure he's like all good fathers and leaves them behind once or twice. There have been times where I may have left children at stadiums. I'm sure Luke has that in him.
That was probably by their choice though, Shane. And turnover there by the Seahawks. Flames come up with the ball, but then almost turn it over themselves. Cox settles and finds Walsh on the perimeter for three. Shot's no good, but rebound by Brennan. Then the Flames, three of them fight over the O board off Brennan's miss.
Yeah, Townsville been really aggressive the last few minutes of going to the boards, and that's great to see because they certainly have the height advantage.
And the Flames up, extended pressure against the Seahawks here. And leads to the 8-second violation in the backcourt.
You see Beck Vanderjack come in now for Lisa Brennan.
Taking that opportunity when Burgess is out of the game to get Vanderjack in and get Brennan some extra rest. Smart coaching by Coach St. Maurice there.
But this is not where we should be at the moment. 7 up, you know, missed a heck of a lot of shots this half. We need to really start putting the lid on some of these buckets.
So no balance on the floor for the Flames there. All 5 players on one side of the split line against the zone made it far too easy for the Seahawks. Now Seahawks look to attack Vanderjack. Ball spills out to Samuels on the perimeter, but then turnover.
I've got to say, if the Gold Coast could hold onto the ball, we would be in trouble, but they're twice as sloppy as we are. Geez, they're really making some mistakes.
And Jansen went to the ground there. Not sure if there was an incidental trip or something. The Seahawks were looking around for the foul, but nothing coming. Now I see substitution for the Seahawks with Honey coming into the game to get Jansen out just to make sure she's checked out and everything's okay.
You know, I'd like to see the Carey sisters in there. You know, they've had really good shooting percentages. They're strong.
Advantage up for the three.
They're
No good.
Physically strong. I reckon they could affect the zone if one or two, they got a few minutes out there, you know.
And Hayley Andrews coming to the bench looking to come back into the game at the next whistle. Seahawks work off the high on ball with Kiriau, successful with the left-hand layup. And it's only 5-point lead for the Flames here. Good child, looked to find Cox on the reversal. Cox had lifted out of the corner though, and turnover by the Flames gives opportunity here now for the Seahawks, with the Flames forced into calling a timeout, leading 35-30 with 2 minutes 50 to go in the first half.
Look, this is some really ugly basketball from both teams. It's just so sloppy, you know. Passes going everywhere but two players. So both teams need to tidy this thing up. The other thing, as I said, I'd love to see them move that ball quicker against the zone and get some shooting and some shooters out there who will stick it and hurt it. And as Michaela did before, but unfortunately had it stripped, penetrate. Get that thing moving. Make some buckets. Penetrate. They're not going to last long.
Well, you see the Flames at the moment with 8 turnovers for the game, and the Seahawks with 9 turnovers. So it has been very sloppy from both teams. So whether it's just that nerves, you know, first quarterfinal, first game of the final series, but the pressure really is on the Flames here tonight. Talking again with Coach Sleaford before the game, they come in here with a free swing effectively. No one really expects them to come in and win this game.
Yeah.
So for them to be in this position, 35, like down 5, this part of the game, which he preempted, he's talked to me about their last month. They've been pretty much in every game that they've had against highly contending teams. They just haven't quite been able to get over the line.
Well, if Townsville continue to be sloppy with the ball, this one could be the one that bites them on the arse.
The Seahawks look like they're trying to free up Samuels on the perimeter here. She gets the ball eventually. Looking to attack against Beck. Finds Kiriau at the elbow. Misses the open 2. And the Flames off and running.
Shoot
Just
that.
overpassing the ball right now. Missed that opportunity. But find Cox open for 3. She's no good. The Seahawks dodge a bullet there.
2-on-1 should result in a basket every time. That was well overpassed.
Particularly with Samuels with 2 fouls. They had to attack the rim and put her under pressure right there.
Absolutely.
Seahawks, nice pass from Samuels, finds Reese inside, and it's back to a 3-point game.
They're sneaking up. They are sneaking up.
Beck in the post against Samuels. Kicks out, good child, jumper from the elbow, no good. Wrestle on the rebounding contest, but the Flames could not resist just sticking their hands in a bit too much. Foul is called on Vanderjagt, and the Seahawks have walked the length of the court to shoot 2 free throws here.
They're really skinny with that big rotation at the moment. You know, we're going to need someone else out there, I think. You know, be it Fowler or even Magella Carey, you know, get some strength out there.
Well, Mike did talk about going small at times against this lineup when Burgess wasn't in. But you just hope he's not, you know, overthinking things too much and playing into the Seahawks' hands by not taking advantage of the tools that he's got at his disposal.
Absolutely.
Second free throw missed by the Seahawks. Goodchild comes up with the defensive rebound. Andrews then finds Goodchild in transition. Hard attack, and there's a foul called on Harney there. And in team fouls, Goodchild will now step to the line for 2. Yeah, both teams in penalty now.
Good aggressive move by Goodchild there. If you've got that transition thing happening, go at them hard. And if you don't get the bucket, you're going to get the foul.
And looking at the way the game's been called by these neutral referees that they haven't had here all season, the Flames probably just not adjusting right now to the fact that those fouls have been called. So let's put the ball on the floor more and attack the body and put the pressure on the referees.
And I've been actually pretty happy with the referees. No real silly fouls. And they're letting the bigs play aggressively. As we see a turnover, Andrews hustles for it for a 60-point.
And another turnover by the Seahawks there coming out of D. And then Goodchild attacks Samuels. Big block by Samuels though.
He got that shit swatted out of there. But again, I like the aggressiveness of it.
And Samuels looking to just try and settle things for her team here. Showing some leadership, but off on the shot from the elbow. And the Flames just looking to try and get the tempo kicked up a little bit here.
The weak side is wide open if she can find it.
They reverse it. Goodchild attacks through the seam. Finds Cox, who kicks for Andrews for the open three. No good. Thought Cox was probably more open than Andrews there on that shot though.
Absolutely. Michaela should have shot it. And the only reason she probably didn't is because she missed a few. But shooters don't think, they just shoot.
Samuels, talking about shooters, goes up with a shot but unsuccessful. A couple of players spilled in the backcourt. Michaela Cox, good sportsmanship, picking up the Seahawks player in the background.
What's going on with that? We're going to have to chat to her about that. You don't help the opposition.
Flames last possession of the first half. Launched the three, no good, but Beck gets the O board. Put back for two. Seahawks ball, 3, 2, 1, and that is time. And the Townsville Flames lead at halftime. The North Gold Coast Seahawks 40-33.
Yeah, look, for me, there's three major issues. One, they seem to have taken care of in the later half of that second quarter was the offensive rebounding by the Seahawks. That seemed to go down a little bit. The other being the shooting percentage has been woeful by Townsville, and their turnovers. Gosh, if they cannot tidy that up, it's going to be an ugly game and they're not going to be safe.
So before we go to half-time, just around those other games, the Ipswich Force absolutely handing it to the Meteorettes right now, leading 41-19 with a minute to go in the second quarter in the second quarter final. And the Southern District Spartans leading at half-time against the Sunshine Coast Phoenix, 42-36. And the last quarter final to get underway in Southwest, the Rockhampton Cyclones, the underdog in that one, sixth place playing third, are leading the Southwest Metro Pirates early, 13-9. It's now half-time from from Star FM Stadium in Townsville, aka the Furnace. We'll be back in about 10 minutes to bring you the second half. Welcome back to Star FM Stadium here in Townsville for the quarterfinal matchup between the Townsville Flames and the North Gold Coast Seahawks. Townsville Flames leading at half-time 40-33. And Shane managed to get quickly a chat with Coach St. Maurice, and well, his simple things were shot selection. He was fairly critical of their shot selection in the first half. You know, implored Michaela Cox to, yeah, you missed a few shots early, but you're the hub of this team. Keep shooting the ball.
Yep.
You know, talked about that, you know, 4-on-1 transition option that they had where they didn't even get a shot off in the end. So it's probably just, you know, bemoaning a little bit their offensive intensity, and defensively their work on the boards is obviously something that he's highlighted.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, a couple of people need to come along with Michaela as well. Alex Fowler needs to start asserting herself. She's, you know, the next back up big to Darcy being out when Lisa Brennan isn't going to work. So a bit more from her. And, you know, I'd like to see Goodchild step up a little bit.
So at the half, the leading scorers for the Flames was Stella Beck with 10 points, Lisa Brennan with 8, and then Ainsley Walsh with 7 off the bench. And for the Seahawks, we've got Casey Samuels with 10 points, Jansen with 7, and then multiple small contributors with 4s, 3s, and 2s. So the Seahawks, you know, according to what Coach Sleaford's plan was before the game, though, was try and keep this thing tight, try and see where they can get to. He's done that job in the first half. Now they've just got to come out and try and put a bit of pressure on him. We see the starting lineups coming out here.
Yeah, he's going small again.
By the look of it, Burgess sitting with Reese coming out instead of her, and the Flames coming out as they started the game. And it'll be the Seahawks to start with first possession here.
And he probably feels that their foot speed, they're better, because they did get within 3 points there than having Burgess out there, because she's clearly is a slow athlete.
The Seahawks get us back underway, trailing by 7. Using a bit of dribble weave action across the top, almost leading to a turnover, and then Goodchild just can't resist getting her hands in there, and that will be Goodchild's 3rd foul.
Yeah, you know, very, very close to stealing it, but just enough contact to draw the foul.
The Seahawks find Samuels off the inbound. No good. It finds Kiriad. She throws it over her head as she was going out of bounds. Fowler busts out in transition. Finds Goodchild.
That's how you make a transition layup. 2-on-1. Excellent.
Much better purpose there in transition from the Flames. Goodchild just having to play hands out there. And Jansen almost fumbled and turned it over. Seahawks now do turn it over, and Cox in transition finds Goodchild, back to Cox. Easy layup, quick 4-point run from the Flames with much more purpose and intent in their transition game.
Yeah, much better. Well, the defense has definitely picked up on the Flames end, so that's going to result in buckets if they can get down the floor quick.
So Samuels with her first attempt unsuccessful. The Flames come up with the defensive board, but then turn it over through Fowler. Reese then misses the layup, but gets her own board and fouled on the ground.
Yeah, the offensive boards are raising their head again, letting them get a few too many. We certainly don't want to see that happen again.
Foul called on Lisa Brennan there. That's her 2nd foul. And the Flames 2 fouls early again in this quarter after being in foul trouble in the 2nd quarter. Reese, nice little spin move back to her right-hand side, little hook shot.
Yeah, don't let him catch it that close to the rim.
The Flames find Fowler out of the elbow. Looks to work Goodchild in the on-ball, but Goodchild rejects the pick, goes baseline, fumbles it, but gets it back and makes a little bunny at the rim.
Great rip move there, that baseline drive, and if she hadn't have fumbled, it probably would have come up with the first bucket, but she recovered and made it, so that's great to see.
Samuels picks up on the wing. Now Allen looking to attack Fowler, no good. Reese with the deep catch again against Brennan. Brennan's got to do a bit of a better job than that, just keeping Reese away from the rim.
The Seahawks certainly spreading the floor there and just diving one person so they can go one-on-one a couple of times. So that might be a bit of a plot they've got happening at the moment.
Cox misses the jumper but gets her own O board. Fowler, spin move, back to the middle, makes the 2.
Lost a bit of balance there. Could have been a travel, but she got away with it, and finished the basket. So that's good to see because we need her to get into the game.
The Seahawks find Allen coming off the flex screen. Foul is called, I think, on Michaela Cox here.
Yeah, they're definitely trying to get some one-on-one in around the rim happening, and it's been successful for
The
them.
call was actually on Stella Beck. That's her second foul. Allen made the 2 and will now go to the foul line to convert the M1. Misses the shot. Fowler with the rebound with Jansen over the back, so it will be Flames ball from the baseline.
We've got the ball out of bounds here. No one wanted to get it, but we've sent the oldest person in the stadium in to chase it.
Crawling in underneath the bleachers, the old curly bells here in Townsville Stadium. Well done getting that ball. And now it needs a wipe down because it looks like it's come through some food underneath there as well.
Yeah, don't spill the chips.
So a small delay here while we're waiting for play to resume. As Fowler cleans the basketball. I'm guessing that that's landed in the wedges with sour cream on the bench there.
Definitely sour cream. Let's see if that affects the handling of the ball. Should be a lot easier to handle when it's had a good polish like that anyway.
Look, while we're having this wait, Ipswich lead 45-21. The Spartans lead 42-36. And the Pirates trail 30-36 to Rockhampton. Foul called there on QBL as Beck just attacked from the wing. The refs have been red hot on those penetration fouls at the moment. They're just not allowing any contact on the driver at all.
Yeah, and it's been good, Beck especially exposing that. So, and Fowler last time when she attacked, so let's look at a bit more of it.
So Cox finds Fowler after the Seahawks switched on that back screen.
That's what I'm talking about. You see Fowler get down there, she puts her butt in, seals her up like a block out. She's right on the rim. We need to see more of that from her.
So Seahawks looking to run out of that shuffle first option here. Jansen unsuccessful with the layup.
Brennan being really smart, keeping her hands up there. It's, being big, making her shoot over a huge target.
The Seahawks will get the ball back here from the sideline. Kyriard, nice little rejection of the pick, left herself an open shot. No good on the shot though. And it's Flames ball from the baseline. Andrews back into the game here, taking control of the point. Works off the on-ball. Fowler again with the mismatch down low, but they don't see it. Now Beck comes off the pin down screen from Brennan. Nice little attack baseline on Samuels and comes up for 2.
Yeah, great moves there. And then Gold Coast right now is switching everything. So she saw that little mix up there with that. She just had that baseline drive. By the time they woke up, too late.
Samuels left wide open off the on-ball screen there. Flames forced into a switch where Fowler got hooked up and Brennan just left her too much space. Dodged the bullet there, but the Seahawks get the O board and end up with a foul. So it'll be Seahawks ball from the baseline here.
And Coach Mike going small again himself. I think having the 2 bigs on the floor works to your advantage. Taking the bigs off is a little risky, so we'll see how it goes over the next few minutes.
Samuels over Andrews' hand. Nice 2. And the Flames lead by 11. Beck explores but couldn't find anything, and the Flames slow down to reverse the ball. Just dribbling around the perimeter at the moment without too much purpose in their work. Andrews has to throw up a late shot as the shot clock expires. Misses, and the Seahawks good defensive possession there.
Again, if we get Fowler inside given a big target, we've got to look to go in at her.
Curio looks to attack there, finds Allen open on the wing. O'Brien comes up with the O board.
I don't know how one player goes in, and it's happened the last couple of times, and gets the board against 2 or 3.
Now Jansen with the little up and under gets Fowler just dropping her arms a little bit. Will go to the foul line, and again the Flames, 5 fouls for the quarter. 5 minutes here now that the North Gold Coast Seahawks will be in the penalty situation.
And it looks like I'm about to get my wish. We're getting both Carey sisters on at once, so we'll see if I know what I'm talking about.
A bit of foul trouble mounting for the Flames now. Goodchild with 3, Fowler with 3, Beck with 3. Leaving them have to go into their bench a little bit deeper here than probably what Coach St. Maurice would want to be right now.
And we have gone very, very small.
It'll be up to Cox here, I think, just to take a little bit of charge of this team, because it's a very young, inexperienced team out there. Walsh being the second most experienced player out on the court as far as QBL experience.
There's that rip drive again as she throws it up and in. And has she got that thing down? I love that move.
Nice finish by Goodchild.
It's one of my favourite players' steps. Rip through by Kevin McHale. I love that move.
Curio unsuccessful. And the Flames now off and running. 4 on 2. Goodchild in transition. Pulls up. No good. Samuel slaps that high board and finds Curio. Now runaway the Seahawks convert for 2 through Harney.
Townsville with a 9-point lead, and Michaela slowing things down, running a horn set.
There's Cox just using that little bit of experience, the way the refs have blown the game, knows it's 5-1 in this quarter, attacking the body, thinking I might get a foul here, and does get that call.
Yeah, and as she drove there, I'd really like to see her with her head up at looking at the other screener in Carey, the popper, because she could stick that free and she was wide open.
Now Cox looking to try and find Goodchild on the cut, finds her, but Goodchild stumbles. Harriet Carey launches the long 2, unsuccessful. The Seahawks just fumbling a little bit trying to get it out of their backcourt, but get it out of there now. Allen with the pull-up jumper, no good. And the foul is called on Harney on the push on the offensive rebounding contest, and it's Flames ball.
And the crowd's starting to get into this. You know, they've arrived, they're getting near the noisy mob on the baseline.
The Blue Crew starting to get a bit louder. Foul called there.
Offensive. Interesting.
Legal screen called there on Harriet Carey.
Must have moved a little bit, but she'll take a sub, and out comes Lisa Brennan.
So a short stint there for Magella Carey, and Lisa Brennan back into the game. Flames lead by 9 with 3:33 to go in the third quarter. Samuels with the pull-up jumper. She's gone a bit quiet, Samuels.
There's a break here if they move the ball, but no, decide to slow it down.
Goodchild looks to turn the corner off the handoff, finds Brennan, who's open in the short corner, hits the open shot.
Well done, nicely played.
The Seahawks through Samuels here.
Yeah, Seahawks again, they're spreading that thing around. They run a little curl cutter in to go one-on-one and trying to get that isolation. Didn't work from that time. Come up with a rebound though. That's raised its head again this quarter, offensive boards. The coach has certainly decided to sit on Burgess. Maybe there's something wrong with her.
Yeah, look, quite possibly. There's no obvious thing when you look down at the bench. You see Brennan go to work here in the block, using her strength. No good on the first, but gets the O-board. Fouled on the second attempt. And the foul called on Zandy there as Brennan will go to the line for 2. As Allen comes to the bench here.
11-point lead with 2 minutes 19 to go. I would hope it goes out 2-13.
And look, is Coach Sleaford just playing it safe here? Burgess on 3 fouls, thinking, oh, as long as we keep this thing close enough? Or I think by now it's probably time for him to pull the trigger and try and get it back into the game, though.
Yeah, you can't hide it. Can't hide it. You've got to use it. This is do or die. So maybe he's decided it was too risky. Nice backdoor play there. Maybe he's decided it's too risky, the physicality with her and Brennan, and he's thinking she'll pick another one up way too quick.
The Seahawks just staying within touching distance. It's 11 points here. 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Goodchild with the open three, no good, but O-board by Harriet Carey.
Yeah, nice board, Harriet.
Brennan looking to go to work in the block. Finds Walsh on the wide open kick out. Nothing good there either. And Samuels now with the ball.
Good news is they've slowed Samuel's perimeter shooting down. So that's, you know, as I say that, she's looking to launch. And we're off. Ainsley's off here. Lisa Brennan trying to keep up with her. Pulls it out and says, no, I'm going to get it to
Cox
Michaela
open
Cox.
on the weak side wing. Misses the three. No good again.
Yeah, she's having a bit of trouble.
Oh, and Harriet Carey, I think she's come down and done an ankle there. She's prone on the floor at the other end. Seahawks O-board, get the putback, and now the referees finally blow the whistle.
Yeah, it definitely looks like an ankle here.
Teammate Walsh rushes straight over to offer her attention. Ainsley is actually a qualified doctor, so good to have a teammate like that on the floor to be able to come and pay that attention straight away. The referees have called a referee's timeout here just so that they can pay attention to making sure that Kerry's looked after her here.
And as we are talking, I'm having a little look on the phone at Australia play New Zealand in the Emus up in Bangkok, and we're into the second quarter. Australia lead 30-15. Can't tell you any scores, but I can certainly tell you we've doubled those dirty Kiwis score.
I'm checking the other games around the league now, so just before half-time, the upset is on down at Southwest Metro with the Rockhampton Cyclones leading the Pirates 46-38. So that was a prediction some people thought might come to fruition. There's still a lot of time to go in that game, but Nicole Seecamp, another one of the star players, missing this week because of Opal's camp down in Canberra with Darcy Garvin. The Pirates obviously just trying to find their way without her on the court right now. The Ipswich Force, with 2 minutes to go in the third quarter, are leading the Mackay Meteor at 65-34. So I think it's safe for us to say that Mackay will be finishing their season tonight at the hands of the Force, and they'll make their way into the semi-finals next week. And in the other game, it's the tight one still, with the Southern District Spartans leading early in the third quarter, 42-36 over the Sunshine Coast Phoenix. Looking a little bit closer at that game, Nat Hurst doing all the damage for the Phoenix right now with 20 points at half-time, and Abby Bishop with 10 just behind as her supporting role. While for the Southern District Spartans, Anderson has 16 points, leading all scorers for them.
Harriet looks like she's in a little bit of strife here. This is going to be extended. Will that work for the Gold Coast? I don't know, but she's clearly in a lot of pain. Got her big sister with her in Ainsley. They're not in a hurry to move her either, so there's clearly something wrong here.
Makes you wonder if is this a knee? Like, they've got the shoe off, so you know, you'd think that it's awfully painful normally to pull that shoe off that quickly. Looks like they're finally making a move to move her. That foot's just hanging a little bit funny right now. Let's just hope it's not something super severe like a dislocation or anything like that that's going on.
Certainly hope that it's not a knee, you know. You don't wish any injury, but you prefer an ankle over a knee, I would think.
And Harriet trying to put on a brave face as her sister and the trainer for the Townsville Flames carry her off to the sideline here. We'll be back and resumed here very shortly. Flames leading 58-49. with only a minute to go here in the third quarter. Just quick run through on the stats. The Flames, Stella Beck with 12, Lisa Brennan with 12, Mila Goodchild with 11. And for the Seahawks, you've got Casey Samuels with 12, Allen with 5, Durbridge with 7 off the bench. But that's about all that's going on for them.
Yeah, they don't have the depth to deal with Townsville, and it's pretty much what we thought at the start of the game. All Townsville have to do is keep taking this spread out, running it hard at them and clogging up the middle. They know they're going to get isolated, some one-on-one plays there, so be ready for that.
The question for the Seahawks is how do we get Samuels going again, though? For them to be a chance here, she needs to start finding some open shots again to drag them back into this game. Now we resume now with the Flames with the ball. Lazy pass by Goodchild, lucky to not force a turnover. The Flames get it back. They find Andrews unattended in the corner. Open three.
Great pass there by Beck. And again, if it hasn't been for Goodchild, especially this quarter, it'd be a lot closer. And to see Beck add to that, finding the open shooters because they're concentrating on penetration, they're dropping on everything, that's going to get your shooters open.
The Seahawks almost turn it over there, but end up with the late shot, no good, but they get the O-board and Samuels now trying to work out of a horn set up the top of the keyway. Flames force a turnover, and they're off and running. They find Brennan, but it's a little too late. Buzzer goes, and at three-quarter time, the Townsville Flames lead this first quarter-final 61-49 over the North Gold Coast Seahawks.
Yeah, great effort by Beck there. She threw herself down onto the ground to get that, so very good. Look, for me, that quarter, again, the offensive boards raised their heads. It was too many, far too many, especially when you see one person out-rebounds three. So someone get a body on them, concentrate on it, and this game is yours.
So 18 offensive boards right now for the North Gold Coast Seahawks, which is the only thing really keeping them within touching distance right now. You know, you saw during that third quarter, and we're talking about Samuels trying to get her going for North Gold Coast. The Flames are basically, once she gets rid of the ball, completely face guarding her and not allowing her to get an easy catch back. So they need to find a way to be able to release her from that attention. Otherwise, it's going to need someone like, does Burgess need to come back into the game? Well, surely she's got to come back and try and be a factor right now to have your import sitting the whole third quarter, and if you leave her out the whole fourth quarter here, you know, in a do-or-die quarterfinals, not showing much faith in that player.
Yeah, he's not going to start her again, so there's clearly something there.
Maybe there is something wrong that we're just not aware of. There's an injury there, or something's not quite right. So with 1 quarter to go, the Flames lead by 12 in this knockout quarterfinal. In Ipswich, the Force, with 10 minutes to go, lead 72-38 over Mackay. And Southern District's lead 42-36 over the Southern District Spartans. There's no refresh going on there, so maybe a little drama with the live stats from the Southern Districts. And the Cyclones leading 46-42 over the Pirates at half-time.
As we see Burgess come in, so they have decided it must have just been a foul situation. Again, I think this can work for Townsville. Take advantage, drive at her, make her run, drag her out of the paint. I think the referees will start to watch some of the physicality between her and Brennan.
So Goodchild open at the elbow, makes the two. The Flames get the first score of the fourth quarter. Goodchild harassing Zandy in the backcourt there. And Jansen coming over the on ball, no good. Beck with the rebound, and Flames are off and running, 4-on-1. She finds Goodchild, Beck does, and she makes the two.
Yeah.
What Goodchild does best, get out and run that thing.
Way to convert the fast break, though. It's really good basketball. As you see her get a block up the other end, and she's already searching up the floor.
Finds Cox on a cut to the rim. Cox does well to keep her balance, but jump ball forced, and it'll be Seahawks ball here with Allen coming back into the game for Harney here. The Flames in their extended pressure here, face guarding both the guards, but they get it in. Jansen will look to work against Goodchild in the backcourt. Beck just not leaving Samuels any space at all right now and just completely taking her out of the game. They find Burgess, and Samuels finds the ball under pressure. Looks to find Burgess, but great deflection by Beck, just switching on that on-ball screen, getting a hand in and forcing it to the baseline. And the Seahawks ball now with 2 seconds on the shot clock.
Yeah, you can't let her catch the ball under the rim like that. You know that's where they're trying to get the ball, so a little bit of sleep there.
Jansen made that basket, and then the Flames turn over, trying to push too quickly in transition. The Seahawks find Allen open on the wing, knocks down the 2, and the Flames call a timeout, leading 65-53, up 12 with 8 minutes 20 to go.
Yeah, lucky they had a bit of a buffer there, because the Seahawks have definitely gone on a little run there, and Coach Mike has decided it's time to take a break. For me, again, we've got to start punishing them by getting inside, but they're shooting the ball too easy. They're getting open looks, and we're not even getting a hand to it. So defensively, we've got to pick it up.
So right now, the Flames probably just need to come out of this timeout and make sure that they just pay attention on the defensive end right now and look after the ball. If they resist the urge to have turnovers in this last quarter and try and force things a little bit too much, you'd wonder whether Seahawks have got enough scoring punch to trim this lead and actually take the lead late in this game.
Oh, look, you never say never, but if we're smart with what we're doing, we can get it. And Michaela Cox, look, I don't know what she scored. What she scored, 4, 6 points. She's just having a very quiet. 2 points for Michaela tonight is very, very quiet. So hopefully she can bust the cold spell she's in.
All right, and we're back underway with the Flames in control of the ball here. Andrews working off the on-ball. Nothing there now. Cox with the ball at the top of the keyway. The switch was there with Fowler, but they couldn't find her inside. Brennan now forced to throw up a late 3. No good. Wrestle over the rebound though. It'll be a jump ball and it'll be Flames ball here.
Yeah, and Cox fighting for that rebound. Good to see her come back her way after that jump ball, and we'll see what we can pull out of this baseline play.
Floor wipers just doing a little bit of tidy up here, waiting for us to get underway for this last 8 minutes. Flames find Andrews open, but she turns down the shot. Gets on the attack at the rim instead, draws the foul on Allen, and will go to the foul line for 2 shots.
There's a really nice fake dribble crossover and into the hoop, you know, so again, penetration's going to hurt him, and as you said earlier, the referees have been calling that reaching stuff, so why not go to it? I've got my wish with Fowler and Brennan being in together now, so let's see if the 2 bigs can cause some damage. The Brennan Burgess battle has certainly quietened down.
The sting's probably gone out of Burgess after sitting for that long.
Yeah.
Andrews makes both, and the Flames are back into a full court press. They haven't really showed this too much tonight, to be honest. Probably could have been something they used a little bit more.
Yeah, they've had some success out of it, so this has certainly caused some grief right now.
Samuels misses the 3. And the Flames off and running. Andrews finds Fowler, fumbles the ball out of bounds. Seahawks ball.
Yeah,
I wonder if we haven't seen the press for the Flames because of that first quarter where Samuel's got open a couple of times in transition, whether Coach Mike's just decided let's play him straight up and not give any open shots that way.
Yeah, but they had some great success just prior to half time, so, you know, they could use it some more. Maybe they're just going, you know, we don't need it.
The Seahawks unsuccessful from Allen from the elbow.
Yeah, they've certainly gone cold.
Andrews looks to attack. An offensive foul
Wow.
called.
That is very interesting. I actually thought the no whistle was the better call because neither player really made hard contact. It was just sloppy contact.
I try not to criticise the referees too much from up here, but that was a very, very interesting call.
Yeah. Yes, it was very interesting. But they've been pretty good tonight, as I said, so I'm not unhappy with them.
Now Seahawks here, trailed by 14, 6 minutes 50 to go in the game. Time is now if they're going to make any sort of crack at this game. Three is launched unsuccessfully by Zandy and the Flames now.
You know Townsville's starting to feel it when they're playing Cotton Eye Joe, you know, the old the Hick Town Cotton Eye Joe song. They're starting to feel comfortable as Cox hits
Finally
a shot.
makes the three.
Maybe she needs a bit of Cotton Eye Joe to make a bucket.
She's used to that from the Mad Cow, I'm sure.
Yeehaw.
Allen makes a pull-up jumper. And the Flames looking to push again a little bit here. Cox, can she get herself into this game now? Spread floor by the Flames leaves Andrews to attack from the top. Little reach in there by Zandy, I think this will be called on. And now Andrews will go to the foul line for 2 shots.
Yeah, Andrews certainly has been fairly aggressive. You know, the first minute or two, she looked like she was on another planet. But obviously just got her legs together, don't she? She's got to have about 8 to 9 points tonight. So good addition to the team. And letting her bring the ball up a little bit lets Michaela Cox start to play off the wing. So hopefully, as you said, she starts to see some buckets.
Now, just a quick shout-out message just came through from Darcy Garvin, obviously watching the game down in Canberra at camp. Loving the Mad Cow reference. Darcy, I'm sure they'll be missing you at the Mad Cow tonight, but hopefully the Flames girls can get out there and celebrate this win, which, you know, is looking more and more likely, up 15 with 6 minutes to go in the game.
The other thing with Darcy being in Canberra is her partner in crime, Keely Froling. I certainly hope that Darcy's not leading Keely astray in any way. Darcy, if you're listening to me.
I think that's being very hopeful there, Shane.
It's all Darcy's fault when Keely has a fun time.
All right, so 6 minutes to go. Flames up 15. Seahawks ball, is it here? Oh no, we've got the foul shots. Foul shots to come for the Flames for Andrews to try and extend the lead.
Burgess has just been non-effective for this whole half of this quarter, so.
And it's good to see this crowd really swelling right now for the men's game. You know, the more and more people pouring inside.
Yeah, it looked a bit wobbly early with the crowd being a bit smaller, but it's certainly getting stronger now.
They'll get up and bouncy later, I'm pretty sure.
Absolutely. And everyone will be happy when the place is rocking.
Seahawks under extended pressure here from the Flames. They find their way out of it. An attack on the rim, unsure why they're probably lucky not to get a foul there. Burgess going to work, and then finally she's called for the offensive foul, dropping the shoulder on Brennan.
And I am going to say it this time, she did flop on that one. The head went back and she threw herself down, so a little bit of acting on that one and we'll take it. At one point she had her back to her with her arms up. Eventually she did make contact, but Lisa knew how to get that foul.
All right, the Seahawks here in a 3-2 zone by the look of it, just trying to throw the Flames out of a bit of rhythm. Goodchild looks to attack from the top, and Samuels called for the foul.
And when Fowler caught that, there was no one between her and the basket. She's really got to get that awareness going and just make the easy bucket. But Goodchild again, nice and aggressive getting to the basket.
Seahawks in foul trouble now. They're in penalty already, so for the next 5 minutes 20, the Flames will head to the foul line. As long as they're good from the foul line now, you'd think that there's no reason that they won't win this game.
Oh, look, this game is over. It's been sloppy. Like we said, the one thing Townsville have done this half is tidied their turnovers up. The first half was horrible, but I would suggest that's shrunk a fair bit.
Foul called on Michaela Cox there, as Kiriau just shown the sideline, attacked the body a little bit. Not sure if that was a make-up call from the ref from the possession before.
Yeah, that contact I can wear, that was a foul, absolutely.
Seahawks off the high, on ball for Kiriau, no good. Brennan with a big rebound. She's done a great job without Garvin here tonight, just to shore up the middle of the keyway for the Flames. She finds Goodchild, who skips to Cox. Unsuccessful on the three.
Get the Cotton Eye Joe back on.
The Seahawks find Samuels in transition, but the Flames do a much better job of taking away the early shot. Strip of the ball. Goodchild finds Walsh in the transition. Walsh stops, draws the foul on Allen, makes the two, and will go to the line.
Yeah. Goodchild tonight's the MVP for this team. She's been outstanding, you know, really aggressive, pushing the ball up the floor, the rip drives, getting a few boards, and she's a clear standout. So, you know, Ainsley Walsh hasn't been a slouch tonight either. She's done a good job coming off the bench, as has Hayley Andrews. So, as I say that, Ainsley throws a brick up, and Seahawks come away.
Allen looks to use a little head fake on Kerry there, got her up in the ground, but the Flames come up with the rebound and push the ball through. Goodchild again. Walsh on the catch. Gets fouled by Kiriau. Now Walsh should go to the foul line for another two shots. And this game looks like it's going to peter out into a lot of foul shots over the last 4 minutes.
And watching Burgess go up and down the floor, she might as well just wait down one end, because they're up and back by the time she even gets down the court. They've run 2 sets, and then she arrives. Then they start running the other way, and she's at it again. So, yeah, for me, too slow. Get her off. Get someone who can play. Go small. That's where you had your success.
And the Ipswich Force, just while these free throws are being shot, 2 minutes 54 to go in their game, leading 87-64, guaranteeing their spot in the second round of the finals. And the Southern District Spartans getting the win over the Sunshine Coast Phoenix, 89-64 in the end. So blew that thing out in the second half. Burgess finds Allen on the three-point line. No good. And the Flames with their running game. Goodchild finds Walsh open on the three-point line. Also no good. But the Flames come with the offensive rebound through Brennan. Shot clock low, 3, 2, 1. Goodchild forced to launch a late shot, but it's good.
She's got such nice touch at that 8 to 10 foot from the rim. When she's got to put it up, she has a great little arc, and she finds it all the time. So very, very interesting to watch her this year. She's going to be really special.
Burgess turnaround jumper, no good. Flames get the ball, off and running again. Goodchild finds Walsh. Another two in transition. And Samuels looks around at where are my teammates in D-trans there. Isolated by herself. And that's where Runaway Bay have really struggled with the Flames running game, particularly in this last quarter.
Yeah, Ainsley then threw that thing so high off the backboard it looked like it was going to come down with snow on it. But anyway, she made the bucket. And we have a score of 82-55. This thing has blown out.
Now the update in the last quarterfinal that started half an hour before all the other ones. At the moment, a couple of minutes into the third quarter, the Rockhampton Cyclones leading 54-48, according to the live stats. So that could be the one upset of the top seeds in this first round. But I believe with these results playing out the way they will be, the Flames will now host Southern Districts next weekend in the semi-final. And those Flames fans who watched through the YouTube will remember that that was the one game that went nowhere near according to plan at home earlier in the season, where they lost by over 20 on their home court.
Great game to have to redeem yourself. I'm sure Coach Mike will have been starting his preparations on whoever he meets through working his own team.
The Seahawks launch shot by Allen, there's no good, but Seahawks outwork the Flames on the glass there. Now Harney hits the putback jumper for two.
And back to their small game, they've got Burgess on the bench, and this has certainly been more successful for them, so see how they finish out the game.
Flames up by 25 with 2.5 minutes to go. Magella Carey back into the game, finds Walsh open for three on the perimeter. No good. And Samuels, great outlet pass to O'Brien. Finds Allen on the opposite wing. 2 points. A little sloppy in transition by the Flames there. Beck rejects the pick and goes baseline. Converts the shot.
Now, I didn't mention Beck before, but she's
Actually,
had
there
a
you
very
go.
good
That's
game. Wow, what's the call there?
That was an offensive foul, I believe, called on Beck for a push-off.
If that's offensive,
That foul is offensive.
that could be far more offensive. But that's a horrible call. Again, I haven't mentioned Beck, but in giving players credit, but she was good early in that first quarter, and she's had a few good contributions, so she's right up there, right alongside the likes of Goodchild.
Magella Carey rejected there by Allen. Allen pushes out in transition, launches the two, no good. And Magella Carey forces the steal. And the Flames looking just to run this clock out a little bit now with only 1:20 to go. Walsh, baseline drive wide open, no good. And then we've got a jump ball call between Samuels and Vanderjagt, and it'll be Seahawks ball.
Yeah, Beck certainly could have used a little more strength there. She got thrown around like a rag doll, and it goes Seahawks' way. But great to see her crashing the boards. That's the one advantage she does have, being big.
Look, I think the Seahawks will look back after this game and probably bemoan their way that they couldn't really get Samuels involved in the game after that early blast. Credit to the Flames, who've done a good job just guarding her tight the whole game and basically prepared to take a defender out of their help rotation the whole game.
Yeah, if Townsville can get rid of those first quarter jitters they seem to have, they're certainly going to go a long way to finishing off every game.
Magella Carey with her first points for the game. The bench super excited to see her get on the scoreboard.
Geez, that's a soft call too, you know. But it's the end of the game. They're down by 20 odd, so that's why the referees are calling that sort of thing.
There's been a lot of fouls called in this game. The refs certainly getting their money's worth for this game, with it pushing out to an hour 40 already.
Yeah, and it's not been inconsistent, so that's good. And if you penetrate, you're going to get the foul. So I just called that one soft because it was.
Well, we're down into the last 30 seconds here now. Flames up 22. Magella Carey launches a three.
Boom.
Three ball is good, and Hayley Andrews super excited for her. And the Townsville Flames bench all on their feet.
They're all happy. They're making hand signs and forgotten about the game.
Samuels finds Kiriel on the opposite wing. Pull-up jumper's no good. 3 seconds to go. Allen launches the three. It's good. 0.3 of a second left. And that is the game. The Townsville Flames go through to the second round of the finals, winning this quarterfinal over the North Gold Coast Seahawks and ending their season 87-65. A good 22-point win for the Flames. And they'll get ready now and go back and prepare for rematch with the Southern District Spartans in Townsville next weekend.
Yeah, look, if Townsville can get rid of that ugly first quarter, as we discussed, they're certainly going to have to address the amount of offensive boards. And, you know, to win like that and have Michaela Cox not in the game as such is a good sign for the team and shows the depth of the team. If they play the better teams and have that sort of performance, it will hurt them. Bringing Darcy back is certainly going to help.
Fingers crossed Harriet Carey, the injury's not too significant for her and she can be back next week. But just quickly before we go on our break, the other results, the Ipswich Force getting the win over the Mackay Meteorettes 95-72. So the second-ranked Force making their way through the semi-final next week. And they'll meet the winner of the game between the Southwest Pirates and the Rockhampton Cyclones. Rockhampton leading that game at the moment with 2 minutes to go in the third quarter by 14 points, 68-54. So could be a little bit of a boil over there. And the Spartans, as we mentioned earlier, knocking off the Sunshine Coast Phoenix 89-64. Thank you for joining us for the first game of the evening. My name's Mark Roble. Joined for me tonight is Shane Frolling. We'll be back in about 15 minutes or so for this men's matchup between the Townsville Heat and the Gold Coast Rollers.